Hey guys, I want to make a video that's actually piqued my interest for quite some time, and that's the remaining characters inside of Subverse when it comes to like grid combat or shoot 'em up sections. We have these portraits of the different characters left on screen. Probably threw you guys off for a minute with the mouse, I just realized that. But what if we actually try to line the characters up? I noticed that they have this page in the art book with different graphical assets. So I figured, what if we took these different characters to line up with the pictures that we have for the different waifus? So I took the liberty to go ahead and cut out each of those different ones and put in the remaining hexagons that we have left. Now the weird thing is we have 7 different spots here, but we have 8 different characters overall. So I mean, we can probably rule out Princess Celestina because Kristoff several times has hinted at the fact that she's not really supposed to be a playable character. Also, after doing some early lining up, I guess, tests, she didn't really seem to line up with any of the spots in here. It would make sense. This is probably her little camera shot when she talks or interacts with you inside of the game, but I don't think she's supposed to be an actual playable character. So we'll stick with the ones that we know for now. So the best thing we can do is really just line up their different silhouettes when it comes to these darker shadows. There's a couple of obvious ones, like for instance, who's this gonna be? Like really, you got the pointy ears, you have the 3-pronged earring right here, pointy ears, 3 prongs. So we have the Elijah character fitting in right here. Now that's the funny part, is we know that Elijah is the next character that we're going to be saving in the game, yet she's down here. So that's kind of the weird part to me, is why are we saving a character so far down the list? Maybe it's just because this list isn't final, so they're planning on moving each of the parts, or maybe they kind of just want you to get that random feeling by filling them in at different intervals, so you can't really predict just who is going to end up being next. I don't know, a lot of different reasons here. Up next we have this one you would think would be a pretty hard one to do, but if you look at the silhouette on the right side specifically, and you look at Taryn, actually her bigger picture specifically, you have the little hair sticking out here, the 2 different prongs and the openness, and if you come back to her graphical asset, she's got the same thing going on here. Zoom in a little bit more. She's got the 2 different prongs, the opening, she's got the round hair. She's really the only one with that kind of round hair. I think it's a safe bet to put Taryn in that spot. I also think she is a pretty early on character as well. Next we have, I think, Fortune in this spot, because she's really the only one that we have crazy hair over here on this left side, and the smooth openness over here. You have a little bit of openness down here where her hair prong is no longer with her shoulder. Same thing here. I think it's a safe bet that Fortune will be right there. And we're already interacting with Fortune in the game. We're kind of just waiting for her to, actually show up as a playable character, hopefully sooner rather than later. Next up, I'm actually gonna knock out another easy option. Bruh, it's Sova. It's Sova, okay? Need I say more? Need I even say more on that one? Next we have another character with some openness on the side and over here. Only other character with that left is Blythe. A lot of different options here. This is what I always found kind of odd, and I talked about in past videos, is I didn't think that Blythe was supposed to be a playable character. She was one that was supposed to be a bigger villain that I guess you tackled later on, but it seems as if not only do we get to tackle later on, but she will actually become a playable waifu, so that seems pretty exciting. I'm also excited for her to actually be a part of the roster that we have remaining. Up next is, well, actually a choice between the 2. Now, they're both kind of fuller characters when it comes to their silhouettes, and these really don't help out that much either. But there are still some ways to narrow it down a little bit. First of all, that's kind of why I was thinking it wasn't Princess Celestina. Her silhouette didn't line up with any of these 2 spots, and again, it doesn't really make sense for her to be a playable character. But the big thing we can look at here is the right side, since that's all we have to look at. Now if we zoom in just a little bit more right on down here, maybe move it a little bit as well. Now what really has me convinced figuring out which character is which is the only one that has an opening on the left side is this silhouette right here. And it leads me to believe that whoever really has a smaller head or isn't filled with a mask and tentacles on their screen would be the character that has a smaller head but just a little bit more luscious hair. As you can see here, her hair actually comes out a little bit on top and then swerves down before coming back, whereas Huntress is just getting heavier the further down you go, which leads me to believe that if you want this heavier on top and then come on down look, Fo-Chan would be right here, which would leave the Huntress to be on this spot right here. Now, granted, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter which one's which. You can debate between the two. I honestly and firmly believe that Fo-Chan's going to be on that bottom right side, whereas Huntress can be on that left side. We know that Huntress we're going to be fighting, I think, 3 different times before she joins our team, and Fo-Chan originally wasn't even supposed to be in the game, but we hit a certain Kickstarter stretch goal that had her invading our game. So we don't know any other details about her other than she's, I guess, an additional character. Makes me think that, I mean, she could be integrated in the story since that was something that was done before the game was really fully in production, so she could be a part of the main story, or she could be a side character that you could completely miss if you're not trying to do the side quest. I think that'd be a cool aspect. I don't know how true that is, but it could be a good explanation why she's also the last spot in there. Either way, cool to have them all figured out. We do have a pretty good variety of characters here. You know, you've got Miss Tech Lady here. You have the bow and arrow lady. She's got some cool little ideas she could do with her energy bow that we know about. You got the short stack with the giant ass hammer. You got Squid Lady. I'm kind of afraid to figure out the stuff she has, but let's just say she's a bounty hunter for now. You have her evil ways, I dare I say. She's probably going to be more of a melee, claw-based character if I had to assume. And Fo-Chan, I don't know. I don't know if I want to know. But quite frankly, we don't know. But that's what we have for the characters so far. You guys let me know down below. It is kind of nice just to have some sort of, I guess, definitive idea of where the characters are coming in as, or tangible evidence. The one thing I still find interesting is on the website, we have the 3 remaining characters that never got revealed. And after talking to Mr. Kristoff about it, it was apparently, they honestly just forgot about it. They never filled in those 3 spots. They were 3 identifiable characters. We, don't know who they are, and we at least know now that they're not actually additional waifus since we have these spots filled in. So unless they're planning on adding more waifus here, which, honestly, I'd be fine if there wasn't. There's already a pretty big variety of different characters to use here, and they have to design the Mantics as well. That's just for the ship combat. But there's a pretty good variety here. So these might be other, I don't know, bigger story beat characters. You know, there's other ones that we can find, like, I mean, you know, there's Dalek. He's not an actual playable character. He's just one that you can find within the game. And God forbid, there's some other evil characters we can find as well, although we already have quite a few lining up in here. I am kind of interested to see how Blythe's story arc is going to turn out, since I guess she's going to end up being a playable character, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sold on that silhouette being Blythe. Either way, you guys let me know down below. If you're new here, don't be afraid to hit subscribe. We make content like this all the time. It's pretty fun. Well, thank you all for watching Long Time, No Hard Time. I'll see you guys next time.